Metal screams. The USS Chung-Hoon's port side buckles inward as the Type 055 Dalian refuses to pull away. January 24, 2026. 0847 hours. Taiwan Strait median line 14 nautical miles east of the boundary nobody respects anymore. The gray mass slides parallel 50 FT, separating hulls. Valiant's bow wave crashes against the American waterline. White foam climbing steel, then falling back. Rust-streaked plating towers 4 stories above Chung-Hoon's deck. The Chinese destroyer dwarfs the cruiser, not by much, just enough to matter. Bridgewing Anan Marcus Webb grips the railing, his knuckles bleach white. 8 MI northeast, the Japanese destroyer JS Otago holds witness position. Cameras recording everything, the distance insurmountable. The Chinese vessel angles inward, not ramming speed. Deliberate, calculated, the gap shrinks to 30 B-taster deck crews on both ships scramble backward from railings. Safety protocols kicking in. Nobody's supposed to be this close without coordination, without permission. Dalian's wake catches Chung-Hoon broadside. The force shoves the American ship to starboard. An industrial nudge applied by thousands of tons. Stabilizers groan through the hull. Commander Sarah Chen corrects course from the bridge. The destroyer mirrors every adjustment. 20 FT now. Close enough to read hull numbers painted gray on gray. Chinese sailors line the rail, hands empty, positioned every 10 FT like sentries. No weapons visible, no shouting. Their silence cuts deeper than threats. They just stand there waiting for mathematics to play out. Below decks, damage control teams mass near sealed hatches. 18 personnel ready with shoring equipment, welding gear, pumps. There's nothing to repair yet, just preparation for inevitable collision. The waiting worse than action. The space between vessels collapses to 15 DNFT's. Chung-Hoon's port lookout can see individual faces now. Young, professional, expressionless. One Chinese sailor meets his eyes. Neither blinks. The American looks away first. Wake turbulence churns between hulls. Angry water compressed into narrow channel. Spray reaches main deck height. The sea itself protesting proximity. Engines thrumming through both ships. Frequencies clash. Discordant harmony of warships too close for doctrine. Bridge radio crackles. Otago confirms visual. They're recording. The Japanese destroyer maintaining observer status. Unable to intervene. Just document. Distance might as well be infinite. 10 FT separate steel from steel now. Paint scratches visible on Dalian's hull. Evidence of previous encounters. Previous victims. The destroyer's been doing this a while. Practiced, refined, perfected the art of controlled aggression. Chen's voice cuts through bridgecom. All stations brace for contact. Not if, when. The words settle over crew like weighted nets. 60 seconds until impact. Maybe less. Dalian's engines shift pitch, not acceleration. Adjustment. The warship leans. Subtle but unmistakable. 1,000-ton pressure applied gradually. Physics overriding seamanship. The gray wall filling Chung-Hoon's portside view. 5F'd. The closest Chinese sailor lights a cigarette. Casual like parking cars in tight spaces. Smoke drifts across the gap. American crew smell it before contact happens. Webb stops breathing. Doesn't realize it until his chest burns. He sucks air, tastes salt, diesel, smoke, the smell of international incidents. Then the space between them vanishes completely. The collision isn't explosive, it's industrial. Grinding, persistent hulls make contact at frame 47. The sound reverberates through both vessels. Steel on steel, slow and deep. Frequency that bypasses ears and vibrates ribs. Dalian doesn't ram. She leans, applies pressure like hydraulic press. Forcing Chung-Hoon 5 degree to starboard. Chen has seconds. Pull away. Risk escalation to weapons-free status. Admirals making calls. Politicians spinning narratives. Hold course, accept the grinding embrace. She chooses immobility. The cruiser shudders but doesn't turn. Portide plating buckles from waterline to main deck. 60 FT section dimpled inward like crushed aluminum. Metal protesting yielding. Not breached, just wounded. The damage visible from satellites from Otago's lenses monitoring from safe distance. Evidence that'll play on news channels within hours. The screech stops. Engines idle. Both vessels drift together. Locked by friction and bent metal. Straight waters churn in the 8-foot gap where hulls pressed moments before. Angry foam. White violence against gray calm. Small boats launch from Dalian stern. 4 RHIBs dropping fast. Armed Chinese Marines aboard. Rifles slung across backs, not shouldered, not pointing. Just present. They circle Chung-Hoon's damaged section. Evaluating, planning, executing something rehearsed. Webb observes from his elevated position the inflatable craft bear down on American steel on his ship, his crew. He's 24, academy trained. Nothing prepared him for boarding action without shots fired. Otago turns north, maintaining visual range, documenting every second. Captain Tanaka transmitting continuous updates despite every instinct screaming to close distance, to intervene. Japan's not at war, can't be first to escalate, so he reports. Chung-Hoon's starboard hatches open, not battle stations, evacuation protocol. Chen's voice over 1MC. Designated personnel muster starboard main deck. Life jackets, hands visible, the words clinical. Procedure masking catastrophe. 23 sailors emerge, single file. Petty officers, technicians, 1 junior lieutenant, the minimum crew required for safety inspection. Chinese terminology transmitted 30 minutes prior. Not hostages, not prisoners. Detained for mutual safety following maritime incident. The semantics mattering to lawyers, not to the sailors stepping into morning light. The boats advance. RHIBs eating remaining distance between ships. Marines gesture. Universal sign language. Board here one at a time. No resistance offered. No shots needed. Just transfer from one deck to another across gray water. First sailor steps onto RHIB at 0909 hours. The boat rocks. Chinese hands steady him. Not rough, not gentle, efficient. One by one, American sailors cross the gap. Each transfer taking 40 seconds. Mathematical. Inevitable. Webb counts them off. Loses track. Starts over. His mind refusing to process what's happening. The buckled hull section still weeps. Theater. Not flooding. Stress cracks bleeding. Damage control seals compartments from inside. Chung-Hoon operational but marked. That dent broadcasting American vulnerability to anyone monitoring. Everyone monitoring. Last sailor boards at 0913 hours, the RIB's turn, motors whining, spray kicking up. They make for Dalian's starboard accommodation ladder. Marines form corridor, shepherding American crew up gray steps onto foreign deck onto Chinese warship. Still flying red flags, still technically at war with nobody. Technically, by 0914 hours, American sailors stand on Chinese deck, plating, and nobody's fired around. Deons separate slowly, reverse engines churning white water between hulls. The destroyer backs off meter by meter. The grinding friction breaks. Chung-Hoon lists 2 degrees to port. The buckled section weeps seawater. Not flooding, just stress cracks bleeding. Mechanical tears. Mechanical teams move through compromised spaces. Shoring, sealing, documenting. The cruiser's operational but marked. That dent tells stories visible from orbit. Chen stands on bridge wing. Her sailors on foreign deck. Now they stand in formation. 3 rows, military bearing maintained, waiting for whatever comes next. Protocol in absence of precedent. At 0853 local time, USS Chung-Hoon and PLN destroyer Dalian made contact during median line transit. 23 crew members transferred to Chinese vessel for safety inspection. Situation ongoing. Pacific Fleet statement. 10:45 hours, sanitized, diplomatic, useless. 3 more Chinese destroyers appear on the northern horizon. Not charging, positioning. They form loose triangle around Dalian, steel geometry containing American sailors. Otago maintains observer status, but now she's outnumbered 4-1. Captain Tanaka transmits continuous updates to Yokosuka, to Tokyo, to anyone listening. His camera's capturing everything. Evidence mattering only if international law still matters. The detained sailors visible on Dalian's deck. Standing, not sitting, not confined below. Visible presence. Message to global audience, we have them. They're unharmed. What happens next depends on decisions made in capitals. Human chess pieces. Commercial traffic in the straits slows. Cargo ships alter course, giving the warship cluster 5-meter berth. Captains avoiding complications. Insurance premiums. International incidents. Flight paths shift. Civilian aircraft climbing extra 1,000 FT controllers, rerouting departures from Type A. The median line, that invisible boundary, suddenly matters more than treaties said it did. Webb remains on bridge wing. Can't see the detained crew from current range. He imagines their faces, remembers their voices from morning briefing. 3 hours ago, different world. Chung-Hoon holds position. Engines at station keeping only. She can't pursue, not with damaged hull. Can't retreat, not without her crew. So she waits. Dalian waits. The reinforcements wait. Ago's equipment keeps recording. In Pentagon comm rooms, phone calls multiply faster than anyone can answer. State Department, Indo-ACOM, National Security Council, everyone demanding updates, offering solutions, proposing responses. The sailors on that Chinese deck aren't hostages yet, not prisoners of war, just detained for safety. The distinction matters until it doesn't. Chen receives orders at 11:27 hours. Maintain position, do not engage, await diplomatic resolution. The command's clear, useless. She's already doing that, already waiting, her crew already gone. Dalian's deck remains visible through binoculars. American sailors still standing, still in formation. The Chinese destroyer making no moves toward mainland. Not yet, just holding, creating facts, establishing new normal, where American warships get rammed and American sailors get taken, and everyone observes from safe distance. The buckled hull section catches afternoon sun shadow, making damage appear deeper. Worse. The dent broadcasting weakness across channels monitored by every naval power tracking the strait tracking America's response or lack thereof. Webb finally exhales. Doesn't remember holding breath. His watch reads 13:40 hours. 5 hours since contact. Feels like 5 years. Feels like 5 minutes. Time broken by collision, by separation, by waiting without endpoint. Atago still holds position at witness range, still recording, still documenting the moment everything changed. The moment American sailors stood on Chinese deck, and nobody knew what came next. The space between ships measures substantial distance now, but the gap keeping 23 Americans from home might as well be infinite.